it has become the rancher's nightmare. Cattle mysteriously mutilated in the middle of the night. Some appear to be surgically altered. Others resemble being cut open with lasers. Are these bovine mysteries easily explainable? Or is this evidence of an extraterrestrial existence? Find out as ParanormalTV lets the truth be told about cattle mutilations. Since the 1970s, hundreds of cattle have been found dead in the western United States, horribly mutilated. While some maintain that the cattle are the victims of predators and scavengers, others believe that the cattle, like humans, are victims of alien abduction.
Ranchers have looked me straight in the eye and have told me about the beam of light that they saw come out of something up in the sky. They didn't know what it was.
The main things that have been reported with us are the UFO-type lights that appear and strange noises that people hear in the area. The most unusual thing is the UFO-type objects.
The coincidence of UFO sightings and cattle mutilations may be nothing more than chance, but there is a pattern that seems to emerge. When the animals are found, it is usually a gruesome scene, remarkably consistent from incident to incident. The animal is alone in an isolated, out-of-the-way location. Typically, there are no tracks leading to or from the carcass, and the other cattle seem to avoid both the dead animal and the area where it lies. A dead cow in a field or a ravine is not remarkable in and of itself, but when the carcass is examined.
Well, the most memorable thing that you would see approaching a cattle mute case would be the lack of blood. There's no blood anywhere. Then the next thing you would see would be the removal of organs in such a precise manner.
Typically, in a cattle mutilation case, ranchers find that the animal's jaw or tongue has been removed, an eye is missing, udders and sexual organs have been excised, and there is a coring of the rectum. Some cattle are also found with mysterious holes in their flesh. And when a necropsy or post-mortem exam is performed, internal organs are said to be missing. Some investigators believe that this is a strong indication of alien involvement.
In more than one case, an entire heart upon a necropsy was missing from inside the chest of an animal with no surgery. There was no excision into the chest. You've got to come up with an instrument that can take a 9-inch by 12-inch heart out of a bull or a cow without penetrating any of the tissue, any of the cartilage, no bones, no surgery. But the heart is missing and the pericardium is still inside.
Ufologists believe that the cattle are being abducted and studied by alien life forms. Some propose that human DNA and bovine DNA are similar and that the aliens are trying to fill gaps in their knowledge of human genetics by studying cattle. Others believe that the reason behind the cattle mutilations is environmental.
The fact that they are taking sex organs, the soft tissue, this would be exactly what you would do if you wanted to find out the impact of pollution on the world, because the pollutants would gather in the soft tissues. And the fact that the cow's chromosome pattern so closely matches human, and the fact that a lot of us eat beef, I think could be a tip-off as to why they're mutilating the cows.
Another piece of evidence that suggests alien involvement to ufologists is that a number of the mutilated cattle seem to have been dropped from above. Cows have been found draped over fences. Some seem to have been dropped through trees. There are also signs of broken bones and an impact crater beneath the dead animal.
We found marks on the cattle around their legs that appear to be clamp marks. We've also found marks on their hide where it appeared to be straps had been placed on some of these reports. Somehow these cattle are being removed from the area, they're taken somewhere, their blood's removed, their internal organs are removed, and then they're brought back. Why? We don't know.
The question became important enough to prompt a number of American senators to ask the U.S. government to get involved in the cattle mutilation mystery. In 1975, Floyd Haskell, a senator from the state of Colorado, asked the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, to be put in charge of the cattle cases. His request was denied. In 1979, Harrison Schmitt, a senator from the state of New Mexico and a former astronaut, called for a federal investigation into the cattle mutilations. The result was Operation Animal Mutilation, chaired by Kenneth Rommel, a former FBI agent. After 1 year, the Rommel report was published. The conclusion? The vast majority of mutilations are caused by predators and scavengers. For some, it only seems logical that the U.S. government itself is behind the mutilations, or complicit in them at the very least. They cite the presence of black helicopters, unmarked military-style aircraft passing over or near where the mutilated cattle are found as a telltale sign of the government's role. They are the same type of helicopters that are often spotted in other UFO-related investigations.
A flying saucer could explain why they don't have tracks coming into the area around the cattle, but a helicopter could also explain it. We really don't know what we're dealing with.
To me, it became a case of the UFOs were committing mutilations and the government was chasing them to find out what they were up to, or vice versa. And personally, I tend to believe that mutilation are the work of UFOs and that the government has a hand in it by tracking them and trying to figure out what that's all about.
It could be some sort of black project that our government's involved in. It could be something that does involve aliens. Until we get more evidence, we really can't say for sure. It's really theory.